Hello, A-listers. I just want to make this video as a way of giving my condolences and saying rest in peace, Takeoff, and to explain one of the reasons why I don't really talk about the real world too much in my videos, mainly because of how insane the real world actually is. You know, he is unproblematic as hell. Like, I have Shade Room on Instagram. I've been having it for years, if I'm gonna be honest with you, before pandemic. And I've heard news of other Migos. There's only 3 of them, and there was no news of him whatsoever. Even when they had a little beef in their group, it's like it wasn't even him that really had too much of an issue in that problem either. This man right here, it's just unexpected. And over a dice game. Over a fucking dice game. When I saw the news earlier, I try not to break down because him and amongst other people who have died, what seems to be out of nowhere, all because of dumbass situations, it's just heartbreaking. This is one of the reasons why I don't really talk about the real world much, because it just reminds me of how many events in the real world that have already happened. There's some wars that spanned around people dying over minimal shit, over shit they can't even control in some cases. This is just, ugh. Hold on. Okay, so I'm back. I don't know. In the background, I have something that's playing. But anyway, to continue on with why I don't talk about the real world when it comes into a sense, I don't talk about it because of the fact is that things keep happening that are just completely and utterly depressing. Of course, they're depressing. People die every day, of course. It's just that, I didn't have too much focus on the other side of the world or many other continents that I don't live in. I didn't have as much focus on it versus what's on my side of the world. So that's one of the reasons why I didn't talk about it much. But another is because a lot of it is real world events. Those events are part of history. I don't like history, if I'm gonna be honest with you. It is due to the fact, finding out how many events happen in history that were so, that started out for a dumb reason. If I'm just being honest with you, a lot of wars start off just based on mistrust and honestly stuff that could be solved easier. And maybe it's just me thinking in a more naive way, but a lot of the times it would be that certain battles and certain just deaths would just be everything's unnecessary. That's what I'm trying to get at. A lot of things are so unnecessary is what I'm finding out. He died from a dice game. You know how unnecessary his death was? It was not necessary to kill him over something so little like that. Literally, yes, it was simple. Some people try to say it was for a deeper reason, but the thing is, dice includes money, so this really doesn't have to be deep. It's very simple. That's why it's honestly terrifying by how simple of a reason people can die over. What in the world? Now, most people would think why is this death important? Why are we talking about other deaths that happen around the world and stuff like that? Why just this? The issue is that this is just one of other deaths that happen around the world for silly, if not just unfair reasons. People are just, it's people's lives aren't anything but a joke to other people, and it's sickening. That's how it's been all throughout history, all throughout the humanity, if I'm gonna be honest with you. But I feel as though now that I'm old enough to actually see why, or understand why some people just die and realize it's over stupid ass reasons, now that I'm old enough to see that shit, it becomes even more, I don't know how to explain it. It's a weird feeling to feel because it's mixed with depression, mixed with I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm having a difficult time explaining it. It just feels wrong. It doesn't feel like we're actually living in the real world right now. It feels like we're in a fucking simulation. It doesn't actually feel like anything's happening for real. And this is not the only news that had occurred. I made a whole nother video about a certain drama that doesn't pertain to the real world in a sense to where it's a worldwide, global and shit like that. But some people were questioning why I didn't talk about what was happening other continents about certain news is like, the missiles, the war that happened in those other parts is, it's because divulging deep into those ones, I will ultimately get to the conclusion that a lot of that shit is happening also for stupid ass reasons. People, and I'm talking about innocent people dying over stupid ass reasons, if I'm being honest with you. People dying because they're caught up in a war that they had nothing to do with. That's a stupid ass reason to die, if I'm gonna be honest with you. Because why are we doing this? Like, if I'm gonna just be honest with you, why? What is actually the purpose? What is really going on? Like rest in paradise, Takeoff, because this is just, it's like, why? What is going on? Like, him dying over a game involving money. It's just the realization, like, of how life is really fucking short and it's unexpected. People, like, and when I mention this, people dying over stupid ass reasons, I'm not saying like, oh, it is their fault for dying. I'm talking about people are being killed over stupid ass reasons. People are being killed over reasons that, like, unnecessary reasons. I should say that, unnecessary reasons. Reasons that can be solved. He shouldn't have died from a game like that. That could be solved. That conflict can be solved quick and easy, But to be shot over that shit is just ridiculous. Like, it's unbelievable. It's honestly bizarre, if I'm gonna be honest with you. In other parts of the world where we're hearing reports where innocent people are dying in the ongoing war, why is this war still going on? What? It's like when you trace it back to the beginning of the war, what even started it, you realize that it's honestly like, in one of the wars, it's higher ups that really have the issue with each other. Then you go down to the people who live in those continents or in those countries that have a war between each other. You very much realize, like, they don't even know the full extent of what is going on themselves. They don't know. And then suddenly that war happens and it's just everybody's dying when they had nothing to do with it. Only the ones who are in control of their country are the ones who have a real issue. Meanwhile, the people in their country are like, getting caught in the crosshairs. It's like, bro, and it's like, some may think, like, what does this have to do with Takeoff? This has something to do with just death all around, if I'm gonna be honest with you. It is how the real world is. Of course, it's not gonna be flowers and daisies and just, cotton candy. It's not gonna be sweet. There's many reasons why many people on this app do not talk about things like this. There's various reasons. They talk about things they enjoy, or certain things. They talk about certain dramas that can honestly be fixed. No one's dead in those dramas. All those people are still alive. And to be honest with you, a lot of those dramas start because of them talking shit or talking a certain way, and it can be fixed by talking with each other and squashing it. A lot of those dramas, they talk about them because they can be fixed. This cannot be fixed. Takeoff is deceased. He was killed. This is not even a drama. This is a crime. Like, he's literally died over something that's minimal. Like, some people can't understand that. That's why certain people don't talk about things like this. This is the real world. It's not amazing to always be a part of. That's why, they make their videos as a way to escape certain parts of it, because having to always just be a part of reality, it makes you realize, like, damn, I could see how someone could be depressed, like, all the time over things like this, because things are not, like, enjoyable. Things are not good a lot of the time. Things like this occur. And it's like, how do you manage, Now, of course, you can't escape all the time. You have to face the music. However, if there is a choice to just make things that you enjoy and want to focus on, rather than things like this and things that are happening in other parts, people choose the latter option. Not the latter option, I'm sorry. People choose the option of focusing on what they enjoy and not what's happening here, And I wanted to make this video, one, because I already had ideas to talk about certain things that happen in the real world, of course, and two, because it just knocked me for a surprise. Like, damn, I'm on Instagram trying to wake myself up for my class because I got up like a little too early, if I'm gonna be honest with you. I can go back to sleep, and then I see this and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I just woke up. Like what the fuck? Like, what is going on here? And it's unexpected too. This is not the first unexpected death that has happened. Like back when Chadwick Boseman had died, it was like that hit me harder than I would have ever thought. It knocked me the hell out, if I'm gonna be honest with you. And I talk with my family. It's just sad. Like, it's more than just sad. I don't want to downplay it like it's just sad. I'm sorry I said that. It's worse than you could ever imagine, if I'm gonna be honest with you. And it doesn't get better. That's what sucks about it. I think that's what should be the theme of this year, if I'm being honest with you. You thought things were bad, they can get much worse than you would not even expect it, which is a very daunting tone to have for an entire year. But just to be frank, I mean, is it any different? Is there any different thing to it? So I just wanted to end this video off giving my condolences. Uh, this may be random, but last month we started it off with a drama that could be fixed, and everybody's still alive in it. This month we started off after a holiday with the death of a very unproblematic and very influential person, part of a group that has been around since a lot of us were in middle school. Like, bro, it's unreal. But anyway, may peace be with you for an eternity.